Hey folks, welcome back to Stoic Relationships. Let me ask you something. Have you ever felt like someone just doesn't like you, even if they don't say it outright? Maybe you've sensed an underlying tension, a subtle coldness, or even noticed them avoiding eye contact or meaningful interactions with you. These situations can leave us questioning, what did I do wrong? Why would they feel this way about me? This kind of unspoken resentment or hidden dislike can be tough to deal with. And let's face it, it can really hurt, especially if you're the type who values harmony and good relationships with others. We all want to be accepted and respected, but sometimes, despite our best intentions, people harbor negative feelings toward us. These feelings may not always be obvious, but their impact can still be felt, affecting how we navigate friendships, workplaces, and even family dynamics. Now, here's the thing. When we start sensing this hidden dislike, our natural reaction is often to dwell on it, replay conversations, analyze every detail, and maybe even question ourselves. It's easy to fall into the trap of wondering, did I say something wrong? Am I too much or not enough? This endless loop of self-doubt can lead us away from our inner peace, creating unnecessary stress and anxiety. But folks, here's where Stoicism can help us see things differently. Stoic philosophy teaches us to understand, observe, and let go of what we cannot control. We can't always change how others feel about us, but we can learn to understand the reasons behind these feelings without letting them disturb our inner peace. So instead of getting caught up in trying to fix what might not even be in our power to change, we can explore the factors that often cause people to feel dislike or resentment, many of which have nothing to do with us personally. This perspective lets us see things with clarity and move forward with confidence. In today's video, we're diving into the 9 reasons why people might secretly harbor negative feelings towards you. Some of these reasons might surprise you. They range from things entirely out of your control, like envy or differences in core values, to more subtle factors like misunderstandings, insecurities, and even social expectations. By understanding these reasons, you'll gain insight into why people react the way they do. And, more importantly, you'll be able to maintain your peace and self-respect in the face of negativity. Let's start by acknowledging something important. Everyone brings their own experiences, insecurities, and biases into their interactions. Sometimes the negative feelings people have toward us are reflections of their own inner struggles and conflicts. For instance, envy and jealousy can cloud someone's perception, making them view you as a threat, even if you've done nothing wrong. In other cases, misunderstandings or simple differences in beliefs and values can create unspoken divides that lead to resentment. By exploring these reasons one by one, you'll start to see that people's feelings aren't always about you. They're often about what's going on within them. Here's a Stoic principle to keep in mind as we go through each of these reasons. Focus on what you can control and let go of what you can't. If someone dislikes you because of a misunderstanding, for instance, you might choose to clarify things if the relationship is important to you. But if their dislike stems from jealousy or their own insecurities, there's not much you can do to change that. By focusing on your own actions and responses, rather than on their emotions, you're freeing yourself from the need for external validation. This gives you the power to stay grounded, regardless of how others feel. So, as we move through these 9 reasons, remember, this isn't about finding fault with yourself or trying to mold yourself to be more likable. It's about understanding the complexities of human relationships so that you can handle these situations with grace and wisdom. Once you start seeing these signs for what they are, you'll be able to let go of the need to be liked by everyone and focus on building genuine, meaningful connections with those who truly value and understand you. And before we jump into the first reason, I want you to take a moment and affirm this with me. I am enough, and my worth isn't defined by the opinions of others. Drop that in the comments if you're ready to dive into today's topic with a Stoic mindset. This journey is about self-respect, clarity, and the courage to face reality without letting it shake your inner peace. By the end of this video, you'll have a clearer understanding of why people might secretly dislike you and, more importantly, how to rise above it. You'll be equipped to recognize these behaviors, interpret them wisely, and respond in a way that respects both yourself and the other person. So, let's get started with the first reason and take a step toward mastering the art of navigating difficult relationships with stoic calm. Number 1. The root of envy and jealousy. All right, folks, let's dive into the first reason why people might harbor negative feelings toward you: envy and jealousy. These two emotions are powerful, and they can affect relationships in ways that aren't always visible on the surface. Sometimes, no matter how kind or genuine you are, there will be people who view your success, happiness, or even your confidence as a threat. This can create feelings of resentment or dislike that they may never express directly, but that still linger beneath the surface. Let me ask you something, folks. Have you ever felt like someone resented you, not because of anything you did to them, but simply because of who you are? Maybe it's your accomplishments, your personality, or the way you handle challenges with a positive attitude. When people see qualities in you that they wish they had, it can trigger envy. This isn't necessarily because they're bad people. It's often a reflection of their own insecurities and unmet desires. But that envy can easily turn into resentment, causing them to distance themselves or even act coldly toward you. One thing to remember is that envy is often a silent emotion. People don't openly admit when they're envious. Instead, it shows up in subtle ways. They might give backhanded compliments, avoid celebrating your successes, or downplay your achievements. You might notice that they never acknowledge your good news, or even seem indifferent when something positive happens to you. These behaviors are often signs that envy is at play. So, why does envy have such a powerful impact on relationships? It's because envy creates a barrier that can prevent genuine connection. When someone feels envious, it's hard for them to be truly happy for you, no matter how much they may want to. Their own insecurities and feelings of inadequacy prevent them from fully embracing your success. And folks, here's where Stoicism comes in. Stoic wisdom teaches us that we can't control how others feel or react. We can't force someone to be happy for us, and we certainly can't change their internal struggles. What we can do is choose how we respond to these situations. The Stoic approach here is to acknowledge the envy without letting it affect your peace of mind. When you notice that someone may be envious of you, instead of feeling guilty or downplaying your achievements, embrace them with gratitude. Recognize that your success or happiness is not something you need to apologize for. If anything, use these moments as a reminder to stay grounded and humble, but don't let someone else's feelings diminish your joy. Let's take a moment to reflect on how we can deal with this kind of hidden resentment. One approach is to show empathy without compromising your self-respect. Sometimes, a person's envy is more about their own journey than it is about you. Maybe they're struggling with setbacks or feeling stuck, and your success reminds them of where they wish they were. In these situations, offering a listening ear or a word of encouragement can be a way to bridge that divide. without compromising who you are or what you've achieved. At the same time, folks, it's important to set boundaries. Stoicism teaches us that while empathy is valuable, we also have to protect our own peace. If someone's envy turns into passive-aggressive comments or starts affecting your self-esteem, it's okay to distance yourself. Remember, maintaining your inner calm is just as important as understanding the struggles of others. You don't need to carry the weight of someone else's envy. Your accomplishments are a reflection of your own hard work and journey, and no one has the right to make you feel lesser for that. And here's another thought, folks. Envy can sometimes be a mirror. When someone envies you, it may be because they see something in you that they wish they had in themselves. This isn't something to feel guilty about. Rather, it's a sign that you're on the right path. When you're focused on personal growth, success, or even just living authentically, it can inspire others, even if that inspiration comes wrapped in envy at first. The Stoic approach is to see envy as a reflection of their own potential, something they could achieve if they focused on their own path instead of comparing themselves to others. So, if you ever find yourself sensing that someone envies you, take a moment to appreciate where you are. Instead of letting their resentment pull you down, let it serve as a reminder to keep going, to keep building the life you want. And if their envy becomes a barrier, it's okay to let go with grace. Not everyone will celebrate your success, but that doesn't mean you should hide your light. All right, folks, here's a quick affirmation to keep in mind. I am proud of my journey. Drop that in the comments if you're embracing your path with confidence and calm. And stay tuned, because the next reason we'll discuss is all about misunderstandings and the impact of ineffective communication, something that affects us all at one point or another. Number 2, misunderstandings and ineffective communication. All right, folks, let's dive into the second reason why people might secretly harbor negative feelings toward you: misunderstandings and ineffective communication. Sometimes it's not about who we are or what we've done, but rather how things get lost in translation. Misunderstandings can easily arise from misinterpreted words, tones, or even simple body language, leading to tension or resentment that goes unspoken but remains felt. Let me ask you, folks, have you ever said something with the best of intentions, only to have it misinterpreted completely? Maybe you shared some honest feedback, or perhaps you made a joke that didn't quite land the way you intended. In moments like these, misunderstandings can create friction, making people feel that you're insensitive or distant when, in reality, that wasn't your intention at all. These misunderstandings, if left unresolved, can build up and cause others to feel uncomfortable or even dislike you, often without giving you the chance to clarify or explain yourself. Communication is a two-way street, and sometimes what we think we're conveying is not what others are receiving. People bring their own emotions, past experiences and biases into every conversation, and this can color the way they interpret our words. They may read between the lines, interpreting things that weren't meant to be there. For instance, a simple comment about someone's work might be taken as criticism, even if it was intended as constructive feedback. Or maybe a casual remark is seen as dismissive because the other person is feeling insecure. These minor misinterpretations can build up, creating an invisible wall between you and others. But here's where Stoicism comes in, folks. Stoic wisdom teaches us to approach situations with patience and empathy. When misunderstandings happen, the Stoic response is to seek clarity without defensiveness. If you sense that someone may have misinterpreted your words or actions, calmly address it and ask if there's anything that needs clarification. This approach shows respect for both them and yourself. You're not apologizing for who you are. You're simply opening the door for honest communication, which often clears the air. Now, let's talk about some practical ways to avoid misunderstandings in the first place. One of the best things you can do is to be mindful of your tone and body language. Our words are powerful, but sometimes it's how we say them that makes the biggest impact. Even the best intended message can be misinterpreted if it's delivered in a way that feels too abrupt or distant. Take a moment to ensure that your tone aligns with your intention, especially when discussing sensitive topics or giving feedback. Another helpful practice is to ask open-ended questions. When you're unsure if your message has been understood, try asking questions that invite feedback, like, "How do you feel about that?" or "Does that make sense to you?" This shows that you value their perspective and gives them the opportunity to express any concerns they may have. It also helps bridge gaps in communication, allowing you both to understand each other more fully and avoid unspoken resentment. And folks, sometimes the best way to handle misunderstandings is to let go. Not every misinterpretation requires a deep conversation or clarification. Stoicism reminds us that we can't control how others perceive everything we say or do. If you've done your part to communicate clearly and with good intent, and misunderstandings still arise, it's okay to step back and let it be. The opinions of others, especially if they're based on assumptions, don't have to define your sense of self-worth. By releasing the need for constant approval or understanding, you're freeing yourself from unnecessary stress and focusing on what truly matters. Here's a Stoic exercise to consider. When you notice a misunderstanding, take a deep breath and reflect on whether it truly needs to be addressed. If it's something minor, let it go with calmness and confidence. But if it's affecting a meaningful relationship, address it with empathy and a willingness to listen. By choosing to communicate calmly and clearly, you're showing strength and respect, both for yourself and for the other person. All right, folks, here's a question for you. Have you ever experienced a misunderstanding that led to tension, even though your intentions were good? If so, let's affirm the Stoic mindset in the comments with a simple "I seek clarity." And stay tuned, because the next reason we'll explore has to do with differences in core values and beliefs, a deeper factor that often causes hidden divides in relationships. Let's keep going and uncover more insights together. Number 3, conflicting core values and beliefs. All right, folks, let's move on to the third reason why people might feel a hidden sense of dislike toward you: conflicting core values and beliefs. In life, our values and beliefs shape who we are and guide how we interact with the world. They're deeply personal, often influenced by our upbringing, culture, and experiences. When our core values clash with someone else's, it can create a subtle divide, sometimes leading to unspoken tension or even resentment. Let me ask you this, folks. Have you ever felt uncomfortable around someone, not because of anything they did, but because your perspectives or priorities were just so different? Maybe you believe in honesty at all costs, while they tend to favor diplomacy even if it means bending the truth. Or perhaps you're passionate about personal growth, while they prefer a more relaxed, go-with-the-flow lifestyle. When our core values don't align, it can create a feeling of disconnect, even if no words are spoken. These differences might not seem like a big deal at first. In fact, they might not even be obvious in casual interactions. But over time, as you get to know someone better, these contrasting values can start to show up. They might subtly judge you for your lifestyle choices, or perhaps they find your opinions challenging or even threatening to their own sense of self. This quiet tension can easily turn into resentment, especially if one person feels that the other's values are somehow wrong or misguided. Here's where Stoicism offers a powerful perspective, folks. Stoicism teaches us to respect others' beliefs without feeling the need to defend or impose our own. If someone's values differ from yours, it doesn't make them wrong or make you superior. Instead, it's a natural part of life's diversity. When you encounter these differences, try to approach them with an open mind and a sense of understanding. After all, each of us is on our own unique journey, shaped by experiences that others may never fully understand. One of the best ways to handle conflicting values is to practice what the Stoics call compassionate detachment. This means acknowledging the differences without allowing them to create anger or frustration within you. Instead of trying to change the other person or feeling judged by their beliefs, choose to focus on your own path and values. By doing this, you're not only respecting their journey, but also preserving your inner peace. Another thing to keep in mind is that these differences can often lead to valuable learning opportunities. When we're open to perspectives different from our own, we expand our understanding of the world and develop a more flexible mindset. If you feel that someone dislikes you because of differing beliefs, see if there's something you can learn from their perspective. You don't have to agree with them, but understanding where they're coming from can help reduce tension and create a sense of mutual respect. That said, folks, it's also important to recognize when conflicting values are causing more harm than good. Not every relationship is meant to be close or deep, especially when our core values are at odds. If you feel that someone's beliefs are consistently challenging or clashing with your own, it's okay to set boundaries. Stoicism reminds us that our peace and well-being come first. You don't need to force a connection or compromise your own values just to be liked or accepted. Here's a practical Stoic exercise to help you manage these conflicts. Next time you find yourself clashing with someone's values, take a deep breath and remind yourself that these differences don't define your worth or theirs. Reflect on whether this relationship is enhancing your life or creating unnecessary stress. By taking a step back, you can approach the situation with a clear mind, allowing you to respect the other person's beliefs while staying true to your own. So, folks, here's a quick affirmation for those moments of conflicting values. I respect my path and I honor yours. Drop that in the comments if you're embracing this Stoic approach to handling differences. And stay tuned, because the next reason we'll discuss is all about insecurities and how they can lead others to project negative feelings onto you. This is a topic that affects us all in different ways, so let's keep going and gain a deeper understanding together. Number 4. Insecurities and self-projection. All right, folks, let's dive into the fourth reason why people might hold unspoken resentment toward you: insecurities and self-projection. Sometimes the negative feelings others harbor don't actually have much to do with you at all. Instead, they stem from the insecurities and self-doubts that person may be dealing with. When someone feels inadequate, they may project those feelings onto others, often without realizing it. Think about it for a second. Have you ever felt disliked by someone without any clear reason? Maybe you've sensed a coolness in their demeanor, or noticed subtle comments that seem designed to undermine you. Often, this kind of behavior arises when someone sees qualities in you that they wish they had. Whether it's your confidence, kindness, or success, people sometimes find it hard to face their own insecurities, and instead, they project those feelings outward. This can be especially true when they see you achieving things they haven't yet reached or displaying qualities they struggle with. They may start viewing you as a reflection of their own perceived shortcomings, which can make them feel uncomfortable or even resentful. These feelings can turn into subtle forms of hostility, things like backhanded compliments, sarcasm, or dismissive attitudes. Now, here's where Stoicism comes in, folks. Stoic philosophy teaches us to approach these situations with understanding and not to take them personally. The reality is that other people's insecurities are beyond your control. Their feelings and judgments are often shaped by their own struggles and have little to do with who you truly are. So instead of letting their negativity affect your peace of mind, focus on staying true to yourself and maintaining your inner calm. One of the best things you can do in these situations is to show empathy without absorbing their negativity. When you recognize that someone's resentment is likely rooted in their own insecurities, it becomes easier to separate their feelings from your self-worth. You don't have to carry the weight of their projections. Instead, use these moments to strengthen your own sense of self. Stay grounded, remain kind, and understand that their struggles are part of their journey, not yours. And here's a quick Stoic reminder. You are not responsible for how others perceive you. If someone dislikes you because of their own insecurities, let that be their burden to carry. You're here to live authentically and to grow, not to shrink yourself to make others feel more comfortable. By embracing this mindset, you free yourself from the need to be liked by everyone and focus on what truly matters, your own growth and peace of mind. Before we move on, folks, if you're finding these insights helpful, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Here on Stoic Relationships, we're all about building resilience, understanding human nature, and fostering connections that bring peace and clarity. So if you're ready to keep learning and growing with us, go ahead and subscribe for more Stoic insights that can guide you through everyday challenges. Now, let me ask you this. Have you ever felt that someone's resentment was actually a projection of their own insecurities? If that resonates, let's affirm it in the comments with "I rise above." And stay tuned, because the next reason explores how success and personal growth can sometimes create silent rifts in relationships, especially when others feel left behind. Let's keep going and dive even deeper into these subtle but powerful dynamics. Number 5. The impact of your success and personal growth. All right, folks, let's get into the 5th reason why people might feel an underlying resentment toward you: your success and personal growth. Sometimes, as we grow and achieve new things, the people around us can feel left behind. Even if you've done nothing to make them feel this way, your personal growth can serve as a reminder of where they feel they're falling short, and this can create hidden feelings of jealousy or resentment. Have you ever noticed that when you accomplish something significant, not everyone is genuinely happy for you? Maybe you earned a promotion, reached a personal milestone, or simply started making positive changes in your life. While many will celebrate your success, others might react with indifference or even subtle hostility. These reactions often come from a place of comparison. They're seeing your growth and feeling that it highlights their own stagnation. The truth is, folks, success can be a double-edged sword in relationships. On one hand, it inspires and motivates. On the other, it can bring insecurities to the surface for those who aren't progressing in the same way. This isn't about you doing something wrong. It's simply a reflection of their own journey and the frustrations they may be feeling. When people feel stuck or unsatisfied, seeing someone close to them succeed can be challenging. Here's where a Stoic approach can really help. Stoicism reminds us to stay true to our path without being swayed by others' reactions. Your success and growth are a result of your hard work, resilience, and commitment, and you don't need to downplay them to make others comfortable. Acknowledge their feelings with empathy, but remember, folks, that their perception of your success is not your responsibility to manage. One way to handle this gracefully is to continue being supportive without feeling the need to downplay your achievements. If someone's feeling insecure, sometimes a word of encouragement or an offer to help can ease the tension. However, remember that it's also okay to set boundaries if their resentment begins to affect you negatively. Your growth shouldn't be compromised because others aren't ready to grow alongside you. All right, folks, here's a quick question for you. Have you ever experienced someone reacting negatively to your success? If you have, let's affirm this Stoic mindset together by dropping "I stay true" in the comments. And stick around, because the next reason we'll discuss is one that's often overlooked, but plays a big role in hidden resentment. How simply being different can create unspoken divides. Let's keep going and explore this further. Number 6. Standing out and being different. All right, folks, let's explore the 6th reason why people might feel a hidden resentment toward you: standing out and being different. In a world where fitting in often feels like the easiest path, being different can make others uncomfortable. Whether it's your personality, your values, or simply your approach to life, standing out naturally draws attention. And sometimes it draws unspoken resentment from those who feel unsettled by your uniqueness. Let's be real here. Not everyone is comfortable with people who stand out. When you're authentic, confident, or even just unconventional in how you live, it can feel threatening to those who prefer conformity. Maybe you have a unique sense of style, an outspoken personality, or beliefs that challenge the status quo. These differences can sometimes lead others to judge or distance themselves from you, simply because your uniqueness serves as a reminder that they're holding back or choosing to fit in. Here's the truth, folks. Being different can be both a blessing and a challenge. While it allows you to live authentically, it can also make others uncomfortable, especially if they're not confident in expressing their own individuality. When people are insecure about embracing their true selves, they may feel uneasy around those who are unapologetically unique. This discomfort can manifest as subtle resentment, often without any real reason beyond the fact that you stand out. So, how do we handle this through a Stoic lens? Stoicism teaches us to stay true to our values and not let the opinions of others shape who we are. Your individuality is a gift, not something to hide or change for the sake of blending in. Embrace it fully, knowing that the right people will appreciate you for who you are, while those who feel unsettled may simply need more time on their journey. A practical approach is to be respectful of others without compromising your authenticity. You don't need to downplay your personality or beliefs to make others comfortable. Instead, continue being yourself with confidence and grace, allowing others to accept or reject you based on who you truly are. The Stoic mindset reminds us that it's okay if not everyone resonates with our uniqueness. What matters is that we remain aligned with our own values. All right, folks, let me ask you this. Have you ever felt that standing out made others uncomfortable around you? If you can relate, let's affirm our strength in the comments with "I embrace myself." And if you're finding these insights valuable, don't forget to subscribe for more content on building resilience, understanding human nature, and navigating relationships with wisdom and calm. Stick around, because the next reason is one that digs even deeper into the unseen forces that influence relationships. Let's keep going. Number 7. Setting boundaries and saying no. All right, folks, let's dive into the seventh reason why people might feel an unspoken resentment toward you: setting boundaries and saying no. Boundaries are essential for maintaining healthy relationships, but not everyone responds positively when you assert your limits. Saying no can be challenging for some people to accept, especially if they're used to you always saying yes. When you start setting boundaries, it can create tension, making others feel uncomfortable or even resentful. Think about it. Have you ever felt a shift in someone's attitude after you declined a favor or set a clear boundary? Sometimes, people become frustrated when they can no longer depend on you for certain things, or they feel that your no somehow challenges their expectations. This resentment may not be expressed openly, but it often appears in subtle ways, such as a lack of enthusiasm in their responses, a bit of coldness, or even passive-aggressive comments. Here's the key, folks. Setting boundaries is not about pushing people away. It's about honoring your own needs and respecting your limits. When you say no or set a boundary, you're showing that you value yourself, and that's something worth standing up for. Stoicism reminds us that we can't control how others react to our boundaries, but we can choose to set them without guilt or apology. Your peace and well-being matter, and protecting that should always be a priority. So, how do you handle this through a Stoic lens? Embrace the strength that comes with standing by your boundaries and let go of the need for others' approval. Remember, folks, those who truly respect you will understand and accept your limits. And for those who can't handle your boundaries, it's often a reflection of their own issues, not a measure of your worth. Here's a practical approach. When you sense that someone might be uncomfortable with your boundaries, stay calm and reaffirm them with kindness. There's no need to explain yourself excessively or feel pressured to bend your limits to keep the peace. Simply be clear, respectful, and consistent. Over time, people will either come to respect your boundaries or they'll distance themselves, which in the end may be for the best. All right, folks, let's affirm our commitment to setting boundaries with a quick comment. I respect my limits. Drop that in the comments if you're ready to prioritize your well-being. And remember, if you're finding these insights helpful, don't forget to hit subscribe for more Stoic wisdom and tips on building resilience in relationships. Stay tuned, because the next reason we'll cover delves into how simply being successful can lead to unspoken feelings of resentment. Let's keep going. Number 8. Quiet confidence. All right, folks, let's explore the 8th reason why people might secretly harbor resentment toward you. Quiet confidence. Confidence is a powerful quality, but it doesn't always sit well with everyone. When you're quietly confident, grounded in who you are without needing constant validation, it can make others uncomfortable, especially those who struggle with their own self-esteem. This silent strength can sometimes provoke jealousy or even resentment. Here's the thing, people are often used to seeing confidence as loud or showy, so when they encounter someone who is quietly self-assured, it can be unsettling. Maybe they're accustomed to people seeking approval or trying to fit in, so your calm self-confidence might come across as intimidating or even make them feel inadequate. They may wonder, why doesn't this person need validation? Or, what makes them so at peace with themselves? This can stir up feelings of self-doubt in others, leading to a subtle resentment that isn't always visible. The Stoic approach to confidence is rooted in self-awareness and inner strength. Stoicism teaches us to find value in ourselves independently of others' opinions. Quiet confidence doesn't mean ignoring others. It simply means you know your worth and don't rely on external approval. When others sense this grounded confidence, they may not always react positively, but remember, folks, their discomfort is not your responsibility. It's simply a reflection of their own insecurities. Now, you might wonder, how do I handle this hidden resentment? The key is to stay true to your authentic self while remaining compassionate. Confidence doesn't have to mean arrogance, and showing understanding toward those who may feel intimidated can go a long way. If you notice someone reacting negatively to your confidence, don't feel pressured to downplay who you are. Instead, continue being kind, approachable, and understanding. In time, they may come to respect your strength. And here's a practical tip. Keep your focus on self-growth rather than seeking approval. By doing so, you'll naturally attract people who appreciate your authenticity, while those who feel unsettled by it may choose to distance themselves. Stoicism reminds us to let go of the need to be liked by everyone, embracing instead the power that comes with knowing and valuing ourselves. All right, folks, let's affirm this mindset together. If you're embracing your quiet confidence, drop a quick "I am enough" in the comments. And if these insights are helping you, don't forget to hit subscribe for more wisdom on self-growth, resilience, and understanding human nature. Stay with us as we move to the final reason, one that's often overlooked but holds deep significance in how others perceive us. Let's keep going. Number 9. Unapologetic authenticity. All right, folks, we've reached the final reason why people might secretly hold negative feelings toward you: unapologetic authenticity. In a world where many feel the pressure to conform, being unapologetically yourself can sometimes challenge or even unsettle others. When you embrace who you truly are without bending to fit others' expectations, it can create tension for those who may feel restricted or insecure in their own self-expression. Think about it. Have you ever noticed someone reacting strangely to your honesty, passion, or even just your willingness to be yourself? Often, when people see someone living authentically, it serves as a reminder of the parts of themselves they may feel unable to express. This is especially true for those who've been conditioned to fit in rather than stand out. Your authenticity can feel like a silent challenge to their own choices, making them question why they feel the need to conform, while you seem so at peace with who you are. Stoicism has a valuable lesson for us here. Stoicism teaches us to live aligned with our values and to remain true to ourselves, regardless of outside opinions. Being authentic isn't about standing out or being rebellious. It's about living in a way that feels right and genuine for you. When others react negatively to your authenticity, it's often because they see in you something they haven't yet embraced in themselves. Remember, folks, that your authenticity is your strength. There's no need to apologize or feel pressured to change just to make others comfortable. Embrace the fact that being true to yourself may not always be easy, but it's worth it. Stoicism reminds us that our responsibility is to live with integrity and find peace within, not to shape ourselves based on others' approval. If you're embracing your true self and letting go of the need to conform, keep it up. Living authentically may not always be the easiest path, but it brings a sense of peace that no amount of external validation can replace. So, if this resonates with you, folks, drop a quick "I am true" in the comments below, and don't go anywhere. Next, we'll wrap up with some final thoughts that will help you navigate these challenges with confidence and clarity. Let's keep going. All right, folks, that brings us to the end of today's video on the hidden reasons why people might secretly harbor negative feelings toward you. Remember, these feelings others have aren't necessarily about who you are. but often reflect their own insecurities, struggles, and perceptions. By understanding these reasons, we can approach relationships with empathy, resilience, and, most importantly, a strong sense of self. As Stoics, we're reminded to focus on what we can control: our reactions, our boundaries, and our inner peace. Instead of trying to change how others feel, stay grounded in your values and live authentically. The right people will see and appreciate you for who you are, and for those who don't, well, that's simply a reflection of their journey. If you found today's insights helpful, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, and if you're new here, hit that subscribe button to join our Stoic community. We're all about building resilience, finding clarity, and embracing authentic relationships.